Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, and it was well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Quick word, guys. So I was reading an email from a young lady, and I wanted to piggyback off of it because this is more common than people tend to let on. This is more, sometimes people don't even realize that they're in this situation, um, and many do. So I want to speak about the importance of not changing yourself. Now, again, I'm speaking about changing yourself to your core. I'm not speaking about polishing. I'm not speaking about meeting of the minds to come to a level ground. I'm speaking about allowing people to change you at your core, your true authentic self. Here's the thing. So a good sis, she's kind of like in this tug of war. She feels like God is calling her in one direction, but then she was raised in a very religious household. She deals with some self-esteem and confidence issues from a bad marriage. So it's just that shaky ground of trying to really be her true authentic self and not worry about the, chit chat of people or whatever. So she was just telling me how she really admires my strength and my ability to walk to the beat of my own drums, etc., etc. So I figured I'd jump on really quickly and make this recording for her as well as anybody else who may be struggling in this area. I want to start off by saying at a very young age, I'm thinking like 15, I heard God say, I didn't like, I just heard a download, right? I wasn't all spiritually inclined, but I heard God told me to never, ever, ever change. Like that just has always stuck with me. But more than just hearing that, I believe there has always been a grace on me because I know God knows that He would have been using me very non-traditionally in the future, right? So if you really sit back and reflect on certain little clues and downloads that God gave you long time ago, there have always been little nuggets that add up to your purpose. Little nuggets here, little nuggets there. So I've just never, ever, ever had a desire to fit in. It's not that I didn't want to. I just never had that desire. There was just a grace upon me. So I have to give God all the glory in that area. You can ask anybody who's known me all my life. In fact, you've seen childhood friend talk about it on a documentary. I've just always been different. I've never wanted to fit in. I've just always been very, very unique, always. But life happens, and many times what happens, we fall in love, and then sometimes you get into a situation where a person wants to change you, right? That happened once. It only took once for me, but God got me right straight. Right? He got me, trust me, He got me right quick. Didn't I tell you? Don't ever let anybody change you. Well, here's the thing with that. And it wasn't like this long, drawn out process. But I'll tell you this, it happens very, very subtly. It happens very subtly. And this is why people wake up one day in the middle of a relationship, partnership, or marriage, and then you're trying to identify, who am I? You look in the mirror and you don't even know who you are. Because that's not you. That you were conformed to what someone says they wanted. And truth of the matter is, they don't want that. This is why the disconnect happens once you quote unquote change. They were never attracted to the conform you. They were attracted to you, whatever that you were. That's what they were attracted to. So people tend to say that they want certain things, but when you give it to them, then what happens? They don't even want it. So it's very, very important to stay true to your true authentic core. Here's how I live my life. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. Point blank, period. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. And the reason why I live my life like that is because here's what I've learned about people. When you change for people, okay, not only do you lose yourself, you don't even gain them as a fan. They're just harassing your nerves because they got their own stuff going on. So they want to try to deflect from their own insecurities. So it's not even about you, it's about them. So they take that energy and throw that energy your way. So, okay, what happens when you change for people? Did you gain a new fan? No. They're still going to pinpoint something. So is it better to change for people and still not have them like you? Or do you remain your true authentic self, whether if you like me or not? Because what I've learned is regardless of people like you or not, when they know that you're true to your authentic self and they know that you're solid, they have to respect you. Even if they don't tell you that, they have to respect you. So when I walk in rooms or wherever I am, I don't care about your side eyes, right? Because I'm going to look you dead in your eyes. My head is up. So you're going to know that I know who I am. So you have to respect me, period. And then before you know it, once they know they can't shake you, or once they know like they can't, then they want to kind of team up with you. So this is the whole thing. This is why it's so important to just be yourself. People know when you know who you are. And it's not a facade, because I mean, you have people walking around here with facades. It's not a facade. You know that you know that you know that I know. Period. Period. And here's the thing. Whatever God has for you in life, person, places, things, it can only locate you when you're your true, authentic self at your core. Again, regardless of who understands, regardless of who gets it, who don't get it, stay in your lane. Because people, listen, this is why when you have people, let's say someone is on a quest to lose weight. Well, when they were fat, right, they were called fat. When they lost the weight, oh, you lost too much weight. Now you look like you're sick. Oh, what happened now? Because now you don't have hips. You don't have this. And now you have a person who was, they were fine being heavy set, but now because people got into their ear about their weight, they lost the weight. And now what happens? Now you look like a crackhead, right? When you're broke, you're broke. They're going to drag you because you're broke. When you start doing good for yourself, or you forgot where you came from. If you're too light, then you look like an albino. You're too light skinned. If you're too dark, then you're too. Listen, people will have you messed up. Okay, if you're married and you're miserable because you chose to do things based on society standards or whatever, because the world says X, Y, and Z. So you're going to marry somebody just because you want a title. Now you're in a miserable marriage, and now they're talking about you. They're talking about you in this toxic marriage, okay? Now, if you wait to do it the right way, now there's a problem because you're single, right? If you don't have children, there's something wrong with you. If you got children, you're a bad mother. So you you see the whole point? And I can go on and on and on and on and on about that. So that just goes to show you that you have to do what works for you. You have to be solid in that. Regardless, you have to be solid in that. You have to believe yourself. You can't let people get into your ear. You got to know that you know that you know that you move a certain way, you're in your certain lane. I can't tell you some of the things that people have said to me, just like on YouTube. Like, for example, I had someone tell me, and I mean, I'm sure she meant well, but she said something like a year ago about, this is when my channel was like stuck at like, I don't know, maybe 300 people, which is great. But she said that God told her that the reason why my channel wouldn't grow at that time was because I would do the recordings the majority of the times versus doing the pre-live or whatever videos. So I said to her, I said, well, you know, that I receive it from you, but that's not what God said to me. So I'm going to keep doing because I have a reason why I do that as well. But what if I would have believed that and I started just doing something to conform what she wanted or what she believed God said to her? Well, my channel grew. Thank God for Pastor R.C. Blakes. It didn't grow because I conformed to what somebody else wanted. It grew because I stayed firm to who I am. It grew because God had the right person at the right time. So you got to know that you know, right? I had actually one of my ex said to me some years ago, this is when I first started my YouTube channel. He's like, Kizzy, you know, you have this very passionate voice. I understand it's your purpose, but people don't want people yelling at them. You need to stop yelling at people. So I literally, for a second, like I started making YouTube videos like, hey guys, my name is Kizzy Rock. And the Lord just want me to tell you guys that, you know, you just have to be more such and such and da-da-da-da-da-da. Honey, I think I made a recording like that for maybe 2 days. Honey, I was so lost. I couldn't even deliver I was lost. I was trying to focus on the tone, God said, you better get yourself right on back to the passionate person I gave you, period. And guess what happened? Now, if I would have stayed speaking, it's just, listen, that's great. It's just not who I am, right? I have friends who are very, very, that's great. And these same people tell me they want my confidence. And I'm like, I want some of your meekness. So it just goes to show you that it's like people will never be satisfied. So be your true, authentic self. So when I got back to speaking with my passion, guess what? My channel grew. I didn't conform to speaking all meek and quiet. No. Let's go. Let's go. I'm here to motivate you. That's just my personality. It's just my personality. I'm a very passionate person, right? But you gotta be who you are at your core. Seriously. I think the one is the one is. I think one thing that I won't even say regret, because I don't live with regrets, right? I think everything's a learning experience. But the years and years that I just allowed catty women to make me feel like I had to sit down and not shine, because if I walk in the room, I get all the attention and nobody's right. So is that, and a lot of you women do this now, right? That scaling back. It's that scaling back because you don't want your light to shine because of what catty women have always made you, how they made you feel, or they feel like you get what's the word? You get attention and they don't get, and they get it. They just won't even get up. So they want you to sit down. So we all gonna sit down and just watch paint dry. No. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna look everybody in there. Hey, how are you? Point blank periods. Either you can get up with me or you gonna sit down and you stay down. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. And every single thing and every single person and every single blessing that God had for me has found me. Point blank period. Be who you are. Look at the world. Look around you. They're all lost. They're screwed up. Like, who wants to be like people? Be your true, authentic self. Your blessings will find you. Your peace will find you. Your joy will find you. And whoever don't get you, they're just not for you. Everybody's not for you. Everybody, honestly, is not for you. Seriously. Some people are not for me, right? And I'm not for some people, and that's okay. But you will respect me, point blank, period. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.